Butcher, you mentioned one of the oldest crews in Los Angeles called Down to Right. One of the original crews that I remember growing up in that Silverlake Echo Park area.
Well, ironically, that's Silverlake now. They turned into Silverlake. All those dudes got into Silverlake.
Who from that crew did you know, and how do you get acquainted with them? Because they're a crew that has been kind of forgotten in history because they became a neighborhood.
Well, I grew up on Vendome, and so there was Aslan was the gang right there. They're more like paisas, you know what I mean? And I'm gonna keep my association with my hood out of this as much as possible because it's not becoming of my art career, you know what I mean? But my hood is up the block a little bit, back towards where I originally was, you know, Sanborn and all that. And so I saw what was what, and Down to Right was they were all cool, bro. Like I knew a lot. I knew mostly all those fools. Travieso, Fat from TSS. You know, I grew up with him too. So basically, yeah, I forgot what he wrote. The homie Ben, he got jammed up, bro. This was like 90, 93, 94. This is like right when I started the crew. We're at Tropical right there. The Tropical right there on Silverlake and Sunset. And some dudes rolled up saying, "Hey, homie," with the gauge and shit. And I was talking to the dude Ben. He was from DTW. And he goes, "Where you from, homie? Fuck DTW, that's it." And I'm like, "I'm from AAA," and just got in the way. "I'm from AAA, homie." You know what I mean? And just because I knew that they weren't looking for me and shit. And this fool, "Oh, yeah, go fuck DTW." And this fool's like, "Oh, fuck, this fool thought he was going to get blasted." And they're like, "All right, homie." And then they dipped out. And this fool's like, "Oh, shit, gracias, fool, gracias." And he boned out. And so, yeah, that was the homie Ben. Like, they had some problems. And it was fools. They said this is Main Street, but it wasn't Main Street Crips. So it was some like Latino tag bangers. So I guess they were considering those tag bangers, but I've never heard of that. I've heard of Main Street Crip and all that shit. But yeah.
In the tag banging days, was that a usual occurrence? People coming up to you out of nowhere, hitting you up?
Fuck yeah.
With
dude.
guns?
But see, the funny thing is, like the hood I grew up in, those were the dudes that jammed you up the most. You know what I mean? The hood. And so that made me I don't want to be a tag banger. I'm from this crew. They're going to blast you. You know what I mean? So that's, it was a no-no to me. And my dad like, "Fuck that. Catch someone tagging on my fucking house. Fuck them. I'm like, "Oh, fuck, dude." Like, so even, you know what I mean? It had a stigma that like, and that goes back to Fox 11 News and that whole psyops shit. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, dude.
You're experimenting. You're now writing on the streets. What name do you have early on? What name are you writing, representing?
Krang.
Krang. How do you get that name?
Ninja Turtles. The brain from the Ninja Turtles.
Why did you decide to stick to that one out of all the names?
Dude, that fool was running shit on the Technodrome. Ironically, I just got signed to my favorite techno label, Technodrome, which is a techno label in overseas and shit. And they use a whole Krang Ninja Turtle Technodrome theme, you know what I mean? But yeah, I thought he was dope because, he controlled a big-ass robot. I actually was going to paint the Krang robot in my last mural, and I was like, "Oh, this is a pain in the ass." I didn't have the budget for it. I'm like, this is going to be a fucking 5 G's worth of fucking paint, you know what I mean? But yeah, that was my original name. I would do it with a C and with a K and shit, but mostly with a C.
For how long do you write Krang?
I wrote Krang from 94 to, because I'm not going to count 93, you know what I mean? I used to write random shit. Like Mayhem the Destroyer, some toy shit. We went over Blasted Up King, but that doesn't count. You know, that shit was weak. When I was satisfied with my shit was Krang, and that went from 94 till 98.
Did you get Krang up? Did you get it known like you wanted to?
I got it known in the community. I got the AAA, like I wouldn't, you know what, honestly, I didn't even hit up Krang. I hit up AAA. So the thing was, since I started AAA, I had a couple of other homies that would, like, Paisa, MSK used to be from my crew, by the way. Other homies hitting it up, you know what I mean? My homie Gush, my homie Cure, my homie Detect, rest in peace and shit, you know what I mean? That was like my original, like, homie that got into the crew, you know what I mean? And yeah, so when I hit it up, and so I also got busted because of this shit, because well, I think this is part of the same conversation. I got busted. Fucking, they followed me and Detect from continuation off of Gramercy in Hollywood all the way, the undercover cops, Hicks, and I forgot his partner's name, all the way from fucking Gramercy to Florentine Gardens, just catching a AAA in black with a black pilot on white walls, blah, blah, blah. And they photographed it. So I got busted. They took me in. I lied. I was just worried about my dad finding out. I was shitting bricks. They told me my homie Detective had been busted the week before. Your friend's younger than he says he is and all that shit. Those fools were being dicks, bro. I remember that shit. And then I was giving them fake numbers and they ended up somehow stumbling across my real number and called my dad. I was like, fuck, dude. And then they took me home. I lied to my parents. I'm like, those fools are fucking lying. Fuck those fools. They didn't see me tagging. They're fucking lying and shit. And so when I went to community service, they're like, oh yeah, we're lying. And then laid out all the fucking photos. In front of my dad. Yeah, fuck those fools, bro. Like,